live.
All right. This is the Eureka Springs Parks and Recreation Committee regular meeting, Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can we call roll, Dave?
Sure. Scott Barton.
Here.
Scott Miskell, interim chair.
Here.
Sue Hubbard.
Yeah.
Ruth Hager.
Here.
Kevin Rulli.
Here.
Carmen Burton.
Here.
And Dave Hartman are here.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion? Scott, do we still want to remove item number 3?
Yes, I think I probably want to just discuss it briefly, though, but not call for a vote.
Okay, well, we can do that right now. So the purpose of removing it is that when we put it on the agenda, Scott had only been able to find one firm that could give us an estimate for the work in a timely manner, like within months. He has since found another firm, very reputable firm with an engineer that he's familiar with, who can give us a proposal this next week. So we would like to hold off on it until we have 2 competing proposals to review.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so we're going to strike that. Item number 3 from the agenda. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, unanimous. Okay, public comments. Do we have any public comments? No? Okay, we will move on. Chairman's comments. I'd just like to say that it's being away for a while, it was challenging to stay engaged because of the time difference, but I appreciate everybody's efforts to help keep me there. Scott and I stayed in touch. I think that, we're getting ready to go into the fall, both with some optimism toward revenue being above projection in the budget. And we're finally getting some forward motion on a number of the larger projects that we've been trying to get teed up for a while. So I just thank everybody for showing up. I think it's a credit to this commission that we have almost full attendance almost every single meeting. And I, for one, appreciate that. So I will hand it over to Scott for his director's report.
Thank you. Just hit some highlights here. I think I mentioned at the last regular meeting that we were going to be working on a historic preservation plan and doing some work to create a history of the parks. And we're heading towards that. As a matter of fact, the CLG grants that are available once a year, I spoke with Kylie about it, and we are going to apply for a CLG grant to get some assistance in doing that historic preservation plan, and again, creating a history. There's also another grant that I'll apply for in spring you can use it for books or documentaries, those sorts of things. So it could be that we have some materials like that could be used for marketing or training or what have you. At tonight's meeting, as you're aware, we'll be discussing the road repairs at Lake Leatherwood City Park, and I'm optimistic that'll be approved and we can get that going, as well as Magnetic Spring. We've made big progress with the pig situation. That pig brig trap that we bought is very, very useful. Sam Dudley has been just working tirelessly at it. I actually went out there with him one Sunday to set it up, and it's, even with 2 of us, it's a lot of work. And he's going out there and doing that, moving it, once, twice, 3 times a week. We've gotten something like 45 pigs at this point, most of those within just the last few weeks since he's got that system going, and he'll continue. Also, I followed up with the contractor that's going to do the tree removal at Basin Park and a few other areas, and he plans on starting in October sometime. He's going to give me a couple of weeks advance notice because we will need to close the road down out in front of Basin Park for a few hours. He swears he can be in and out of there by lunchtime. I was tempted to place a bet on that, but I decided not to. We do have a sinkhole at Harding Spring that we've got covered up at this point for safety reasons, but we'll be working on that one. It's right where the stairway is going up to Lover's Leap, they call it. And we were going to be redoing the stairs there next year anyway, assuming you approve it in the budget. So that has a new challenge for us. Finally, I gave each of you 2 pages, shows small spreadsheets and a couple of graphs. I just wanted to let you know where we are financially, especially since I'm going to be asking for some expenditures to be approved. The main thing is, if you'll notice on the first page, for the year 2021, our net income is at $65,000, and that is net. Gross was $555,000. And you can compare it to the other 3 years there. This is, out of the past 4 years, this is our best year, and that's comparing it to full years, by the way. So for instance, if you look at 2019, we were at $501,000 roughly. Here, 9 months into the year, we are at $555,000 for gross. Our expenses are a little lower than what I had expected. In fact, as you can see, we're at a $65,000 positive cash flow at this point. And you might note on the next page, our budgeted net income was a negative $170,000. I say all of that just because I want to point out that we are financially in a situation to approve the projects that I'm going to ask of you this evening and in the next few months as well. You'll note also that we have total cash of $483,000 plus at this point. One might ask, well, why do we have that much cash? And it's because we have these big projects that have been on hold for quite some time. Of course, last year, little or nothing got done because of COVID. So it's given us, or put us in a situation where we do have sufficient cash to approve and pay for the projects that I'll be asking tonight and in the near future. So unless anyone has any questions, I just wanted to give you an update of where we stood for the year. Any questions?
Scott, just so I'm clear, these numbers for the previous years are full year numbers, you said?
Yes, those are full year numbers.
Okay. Yeah, so we're doing significantly better than.
Oh, yes, yes.
Great.
Of course, the shuttles are a couple of weeks ago, or perhaps a month or more ago, I sent an email out to each of you with a summary of where we were on the shuttles, and it seems like we were up around a net of 50,000, if I'm correct. So that obviously is a help. Last year and previous year, that was a drain on our finances, whereas this year we're actually, it's actually contributing and not just a drain. Any other questions? Okay. Well, unless anyone wanted something else addressed, that's all I have for an update.
Okay. Committee reports?
No.
Rails? Nothing? Finance? Scott, do you have anything? Okay. Hiring committee we'll get to in the executive session. Old business, none. So move on to new business. First item on the agenda is an executive session to discuss the hiring of the executive director. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting and move to executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Can we just to be official, use the motion on the minutes? So We need to specifically
Oh.
state that we're doing it for hiring,
Yeah.
please.
I make a motion that we adjourn into executive session to discuss the hiring of executive director and discuss the hiring as such.
And Carmen, you're second?
I'll second that.
Okay, very good.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Or-
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we are back from executive session. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to motion that the commission offer the full-time director position to Scott Miskell at a rate of $65,000 per year.
A second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 It's unanimous. Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
The honeymoon's over.
Yes.
My one job.
Yeah. We will gift you bacon.
Okay.
We have a surplus of it.
We have plenty of pork if anyone wants any. 45 of them.
Yeah. Item number 2 on the agenda, discuss approval of Action Seal Coat and Striping LLC's proposed contract for repairs to Lake Leatherwood City Park's main road. Scott?
Yes, I'm going to be real quick on all of these since we talked about them at the workshop and you guys have all had these bids for a while. This is to do 10 of the worst potholes on our road at Lake Leatherwood. I would like to say this, that the bid is $31,825.18, which is under the amount that we need for an alternate, or excuse me, a competitive bidding process. That being said, though, we did get other bids, and as late as about 2 hours ago, we were trying to just confirm the square yardage of roadway that this bid included. Other bids stated the specific amount, and we just want to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. So if the commission does, or if a commissioner makes a motion, I would like it to be understood that we still have a little due diligence to do, only to ensure that we are getting all of the patches done that we're expecting. David Renko was out just a few hours ago meeting with the contractor. They were going to put some marks on the roadway and just make sure that we were talking the same, the same patches since they didn't specify any more than 10 of them. So if a motion is made, somebody should, or whoever makes the motion should comment that I would be authorized but not required to enter into this contract until the due diligence is completed. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do it. I move that we authorize the director to execute the contract with Action Seal Coat and Striping LLC after doing due diligence to assure that the contract does include all the square footage that needs to be covered, and the director is not required to go into the contract unless it's done. A copy of the contract is attached to the agenda for this meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous? Okay, skipping item number 3, going to item number 4. Discuss approval of Stacy's Stoneworks, Inc.'s proposed contract for preparation of site plans. No, that's not right. So Stacy Stoneworks' proposal for Magnetic Spring Park, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll correct the agenda for that,
Oh, yes.
for work to Magnetic Spring. And his proposal is attached, and we also went over it in the workshop. So, Scott?
Yes, and I wouldn't have anything to add other than that Stacy has been here and explained how he was going to go about this. We've talked about it at a workshop, so unless there's any specific questions, I will just hope that one of you would make a motion.
Yeah, should I ask a question now or wait till after the motion?
Well, why don't we get the motion in a second, and then we'll discuss. So, can I get a motion?
I move that we authorize the director to execute the, did you say?
The contract.
Contract with Stacy Stonework, Inc., a copy of which is attached to the agenda for this meeting.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Now, discussion?
Yeah, so I was at the workshop that was put on recently about liability, and I know in a lot of cases, we have a lot of our liability, and we actually can limit that by having insurance companies get involved. And I just, because there was a contract about this, I just wanted to make sure that we had done due diligence and made sure we're not putting ourselves in a worse situation by having a private insurance company involved.
Oh, no, and you were pointing to,
It's Section 5.
right. This is a contract that, other than the addition, the scope of work that was attached, it was a contract that I had prepared that is going to be our standard contract for small construction projects. Why the spacing is off, I don't know. That's because of the emailing. But at any rate, that's a standard provision that I put in there that requires the contractor to indemnify us and have such insurance as, well, $1 million is the amount that we state, which is fairly standard for a contract like this. And so this just ensures that we are co-insured in the event the contractor is sued, and we are sued as well due to his negligence, that the insurance will cover us and also defend us. Now, we still have our insurance through the municipal league,
Okay,
and they, of course, would get involved, but
yeah. So what they were saying was that we just by law have a lot of indemnity.
yes,
But if there's a private company has insurance, we actually lose that indemnity, and we are dealing with a private insurance company, what they'll cover. So if Mr. Woolley has said, do this, we've gone through
Yeah.
them, and they are supporting it, then absolutely I support
Yeah.
it. I just want to make sure we've done some due diligence to make sure we're not.
no, we are not. We have our, in fact, that would be the first motion that would be filed would be to dismiss based on the limited liability that we have through statutes. Having additional insurance is never a bad thing. It doesn't foist any additional liability on us just because the contractor has insurance that he's co-insuring us on.
It's standard, and it's no different with events.
No, this is-
When you put on an event, the insurance that we would carry as an event promoter, we would have to list both the City of Eureka Springs and Parks and Recreation as co-insureds.
Yes.
And typically, there's not even additional charge on that, depending on the insurance you
Yeah,
have.
this is very standard.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, unanimous. Okay, item number 5. Discuss trade with USDA for two hog traps, or two current hog traps, for one new pig brig trap, which is the portable trap that Sam has been using with great success. Now, I will just say before Scott jumps in, we had authorized, I don't remember how many months back it was, the sale of the two existing traps because they were not mobile. They were actually not in very good shape.
Right.
One of them wasn't even on Parks property anymore. And I don't know that we had trapped any hogs with either of those things because they couldn't be moved to the places that the hogs were, which is kind of key number one in success. So what we had authorized Scott to do is sell them, and the idea was to put it into the city auction, which still has not occurred. And then we authorized the purchase of the first pig brig trap.
Yes.
What Scott is proposing is that we really could use a second trap because we're hitting just a small fraction of the areas that we see the damage from the pigs. And that USDA has offered to trade the 2 existing traps that we have for a brand-new pig brig, which is, what was it, $2,800?
$2,300.
$2,300. So if you want to just jump in on.
Yes. Yeah, just for comparison, if we talk about purchasing the traps that we have that we're trying to dispense with, if we purchase those new, one is approximately $8,000 and the other approximately $4,000. So initially, that may not sound like a good deal, but they've been sitting out in the woods for years now. There's actually the gentleman from the state, from Game and Fish, who was helping us. He had made an offer, but he looked at all the items that he was going to have to replace: batteries, tires, modems, and after he totaled everything up, he figured he had about $500 worth of actual pig trap that he would be acquiring from us, so he offered us $500. So that shows us kind of where we're at. The people at the Department of Agriculture that have been working with Sam and quite a help. The reason they want it is because they're doing a lot of trapping in this area. They're helping not just us, but private citizens as well. And they tell us that they're going to keep it in this area and continue. So it'll continue to benefit us because they're going to be trapping in properties around our park. And the bottom line is $2,300 brand new pig brig that we know is working for us is a whole lot better than 2 traps that have been sitting rusting for the last few years. I think I mentioned earlier, since Sam started using the pig brig, I believe we're at 45 pigs as of this morning, as I recall. If not, we're real close to that. So, and I've been out there and helped them with it. It's a good system. The beauty of it is it can be used on uneven ground. It uses stakes and poles, and can go around trees. You can put it in an odd shape or what have you, and it's obviously working. I get the pictures almost daily,
Yeah.
and I think this is a good deal for us.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is it is portable enough
Yes.
that it can get into remote areas of the park, which is the single biggest limitation in the 2 traps we have. If you cannot get a trailer backed up to the location, you
Right.
can't use it.
Exactly.
And so there's almost no place in the park that the traps that were purchased previously are useful to us.
Right. As a matter of fact, most of the trapping we've been doing has been on the east side of the lake, which we literally would have no way to get over there with a vehicle. In fact, the Sunday that I went out with Sam, we loaded up a canoe and paddled across the lake and unloaded it. And yeah, I mean, it's a good system. I would say that just to throw in, we had already requested the city council has to approve sale of assets. I was in the meeting this morning with the department heads, and the auction that has been in the works for quite some time is now being scheduled. We should be doing that in the next couple of months. And I did put in a request to get approval to sell these 2 traps. I did double check this morning, and that even though we requested a sale, all I have to do is get a letter to the mayor that the commission has authorized this trade, and the mayor just approves. the trade versus a sale. So we won't have any sort of hoops to jump through other than waiting for the city council to approve the sale or disposition of that trap, or those traps, and then a letter from the mayor, and we'll be on track to do this.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Yes, I move to authorize the interim director, or the director, to trade 2 used pig traps for a new pig brig trap.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Okay. Commissioner comments? Dave?
No, I'm good this time.
I'm good.
Carmen?
I want to thank Sam for catching those pigs.
Yes.
For all the work. That's just something that, of course, we need, but it's also nice for the public to hear that, because they know about the pigs and they worry about them, and we get feedback about that. What happened? Or where are they? Are we catching them? So it's nice for people to know we're doing that, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, I'll just say I ditto what Ruth said.
Scott? Comments?
Yes. I've lived here full-time, going on 4 years. I have heard more comments positive about the condition of all our parks. It's just, every time I talk to someone that's visiting, they're just overwhelmed by our parks and how pretty they are and the flowers. They really, really enjoy that. And I want to give kudos, thanks to our workers and to Scott in keeping that beautiful, because it really means a lot. It's an attractive little butterfly we have here in town. I like that. I just want to congratulate you on your new position.
Thank you.
And I look forward to working with you in the future. And thank you, Mr. Rulli, for coming
Awesome.
back from Italy.
Okay, next item, approval of meeting minutes. So we've got several here that we need to approve. And we'll go in chronological order. So the first one is from monthly meeting, June 15th, 2021. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from the regular monthly meeting from June 15th, 2021.
Second? Can I get a second?
Scott.
Okay. Comments, corrections? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, approved. Next, we have the regular meeting from July 20th, 2021.
I move we approve the minutes from the regular meeting of July 20th, 2021.
Second?
I'll second.
Comments, corrections? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 It's unanimous. And finally, the special meeting from September 7th, 2021.
I move that we approve the minutes from the special meeting of September 7th, 2021.
Second?
I'll second.
Comments or corrections? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Also unanimous. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, we are adjourned.